All right, here's the garden after I just did a whole bunch of chopping and dropping. Had a bunch of beans. I think I have a before picture from the summer, but I had a line that went from the hedge down for each side, so I had lots of beans and tomatoes growing vertically. Um, you might be able to see there's still some strawberry plants in here. There's some asparagus. There's still some kale that's doing okay. Now that might get it's fall here, so it's not going to get a lot of sunlight, but it'll get a little more. There's some Swiss chard still growing in there. I'm not completely done, but this U-shaped bed, which now you can actually kind of see the U-shape. So this isn't perfect. There's still more work that needs to be done. All my pathways, the wood chips, they're a few years old now, and I'd love to get another load of wood chips in here. So you got let's see, some mushrooms popping up in here. I know these aren't edible ones, but I do have some wine cap mushrooms that every once in a while they pop up that I tried planting, but I don't seem to catch them in time, so I catch them when they're quite kind of way past their prime. But yeah, hopefully next year I'll be able to, because hopefully the spores are still in here. I found them in totally different spots than where I planted them too. So anyhow, yeah, just a quick, oh yeah, whole bunch of asparagus. These guys, it's hard to film this, but yeah, you can see there's a lot of strawberry plants, still some that won't ripen up, but yeah, this is all from today's chopping and dropping. Let's see what else. One of the raspberries that has migrated from that bed over there, there's raspberries growing, they're all kind of flopping over, and there's a squash plant that made its way in there too. Yeah, I've also chopped and dropped a bunch of comfrey. I got the arch trellis there that I still have to pick a bunch of beans to save for seeds for next year. Still got a few pumpkins growing too, some small sugar pumpkins. Let's see. Oh yeah, these ones are still some edible beans. This time of year they're slowing down, but that's still a decent amount. And then a whole garbage can lid full of ones to save. Some of them mostly through the ones that got a little too wet, but even some of these, even though we've had a lot of rain, just dry weather in the last bit, they might still be good. Anyways, I'm gonna lay these out on a tray in the basement, and yeah, we just turned the furnace on first time just a few days ago early in the week, so it's nice and decently warm down there. Let's see, do a quick little tour through this. So maybe tomorrow, I got a bunch more beans. See, this doesn't rattle. This one's way too soggy. I'm not gonna bother saving ones that are that. But right next door to it, this one's a maybe. But anyways, I got tons. Like this guy, once it dries up, be perfect. So I have got a lot of beans that I'm gonna be saving, as you can see. So that's, maybe I might tomorrow. Oh yeah, a whole bunch of kale that we just left go to seed. So we can grow like a zillion kale plants. Or is this a different brassica? Actually, you know what? I think this was a broccoli one that we let go to seed. Yeah. So yeah, we have this bed. We've got a giant sunflower. The heads weren't huge, but right at this level here, I'm 6'1". So this guy, that has got to be, I'd say 7.5, maybe 8 feet tall. It's pretty impressive. And actually, look, it's actually leaning sideways. Sorry, bad camera work. I always plan on making these videos small, and I keep going rambling on. This garden bed, I did a bit of chop and drop too. Actually, there's a little more chopping I could do. Yeah, we still got some kale growing. A lot of the kale I find that we kind of shaded out. Still got tons of beans on here. Tons of them for seeds, but some of these, there's probably going to be a little bit that, yeah, I see a few there that might be edible. Yeah, that pear tree that didn't look too healthy again this year. But fingers crossed next year it bounces back. Yeah, and then this was my little bonus beans I did back there. I feel kind of weird talking to my neighbors just right there in the laneway. Yeah, you know, a bunch of compost I did today. Yes, there's some of the swamp water that I had, morning glory, that I picked early in the summer. I would say somewhere around June, maybe even May. I filled a garbage can and it is already, I took some pictures earlier. I threw it in the compost. I figured should be zero chance of it seeding in the compost, because I do hot compost and it's been sitting for months and we're right at the end of October. And yes, I got a fig tree, a persimmon tree, and a plum tree in pots. Persimmon has lots of strawberries joining them. Not quite sure what that little plant is. One of my wife's, more of a decorative plant, and some dandelions that look like they've taken root in there. Oh, I still have more tomatoes I missed. Yeah, been picking some green tomatoes, and well, these ones touching the ground. But anyways, yeah, that's a quick. Lots of strawberry plants. I'm gonna plant a bunch of garlic in a lot of these beds pretty soon here. Yeah, so a little bit of good, a lot of work that ideally would be done. I got pieces of wood here. I'm gonna use those for the greenhouse, some of it, and some of it for firewood. So got lots of stuff. And yeah, for a backyard area, we still have more plants in the front too. Front yard gets more sun exposure. I'd love to totally do that garden style, but we got a lot of berry bushes, blueberries and honeyberries or haskellps. Yeah. So, and then, oh yeah, the plan for this is to cap this all with a bunch of fall leaves. So that's the plan. And next year I'm going to try stringing up the raspberries because they've all kind of fallen over. And I'll give them a pruning later on, I think midwinter. I'll have to look into that when the best time is again. So yeah, and there's also some blueberries there surrounding. Not the most ideal place, I know, but trying to make the most of this area. These big cedar hedges, they probably do suck a lot of water, but trying to maximize the space. And I did have to put a soaker hose around these because I think without that, these plants probably wouldn't have survived. Everything else in here, I did soaker hose a bit and a little, but I'd really like to just see how this garden does with no watering, except for maybe super extreme drought. But we'll see what I do next year. Definitely would like to up the amount of perennials. Right here, normally we had a gigantic rhubarb plant that produced like absolute crazy. This was its third year, I believe. I don't think fourth. I think it was the third year, and it did amazing. We did so many harvests from it, and I actually dug up a little piece and gave it to a friend. Not too little, but a little bit, because yeah, it's for a family of four. My wife does a lot of cooking. We did a lot of like rhubarb crumblers and with strawberries and pie, all sorts of good stuff like that. So anyways, I'm kind of rambling. I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you guys all have a good day. And by the way, I guess the name of the channel is obvious. Let's Grow Veganic. All of this done veganically. No animal products at all. Of course there's animals in nature. That's all part of it. So, but yeah, no products from the animal agriculture industry. So anyways, I gotta work on wrapping things up. You hear traffic because we're next to a busy street. But have a good day or night whenever you're watching this, if anyone is.